Remote jobs are, I think it's not even the future, it's the present. Having ADHD, I'm super bad at forgetting things.
What is something interesting that you have learned while traveling?
There's applications for that actually. BlaBlaCar is a very good tool for that.
Hello and welcome to a new video on Why Do I Like to Travel? A project that was established to inspire people to travel more often and to keep frequent travelers inspired. In today's video I am with
Carlos.
and we are in the beautiful city of Krakow. Please make sure to check out the Instagram page if you're interested in voiceover travel videos, travel related interviews and travel vlogs. Instagram page at Why Do I Like to Travel, to subscribe to the YouTube channel to make your next journey a fascinating one. Thank you in advance for watching this video. Let's jump into the interview. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Carlos. I'm 33 years old. I'm a traveler from El-Salvador, Central America. I decided to do a little journey through Europe, starting on Amsterdam all the way to Romania. To this moment, I've been in 7 countries, 16 cities more or less.
What is your favorite country so far? The country with the friendliest people?
Budapest, the city specifically, and Krakow, Poland. I really loved Krakow, so much that I came back.
Do you prefer to travel by bus, by rental car, by trains? What is your favorite way for traveling?
Well, at this moment I've done 2, which is train, bus, and hitching a ride. It's applications for that actually. BlaBlaCar is a very good tool for that. Usually you'll go for Omeo because I feel more comfortable with trains.
Okay, sounds good. I also traveled once with BlaBlaCar from Madrid to Porto in Portugal. Now, one interesting question, what food from your home country, El Salvador, do you miss while traveling?
Kind of long for, but not. It's called pupusas, that's our national dish. It's like a corn tortilla or a rice tortilla with filling inside. It could be beans, pork, cheese.
What is the most reliable source of advice before traveling, before you get to your destination?
On YouTube, one of my favorite tools is The Honest Guide. This person from Prague who makes videos not only telling you about cool things that you can do in that city, but also things that you have to be aware when you travel to avoid any bad experiences, any overpriced places, and usual tourist traps that you can find in most cities in Europe.
While traveling, do you prefer a strict schedule or to go with the flow?
Actually, I think it's not a strict schedule, just having a couple of things you want to see from each city or town. You just wander in the city and let it take you. You'll find a lot of places that you will find interesting and you will learn a lot from the city. It's just letting the city make you walk it. The best way to explore.
Exactly. Do you prefer cities or countryside while traveling?
I come from the city, so I kind of really like cities because you find everything you need, but countrysides are beautiful. Especially at this time of the year that I come from Latin America. There's not much snow there. In Central America, there's no snow.
Okay.
So just being able to see snowy places, snowy mountains, white mountaintops, it's a beautiful culture touch to me. So countryside, for example, Slovakia, I kind of traveled through and it was white. It was like a foot of snow, which is very foreign to me, but I really love it.
Wine or beers?
I like beers, and I really like to try the local beers of each town, and if I found any craft beers, great.
Who would win a fight? A panda with a gun or a kangaroo with nunchucks?
A panda has the ability in its heart to be aggressive in any way, shape or form, so kangaroos come from Australia, and all I have to say is, you're Hawaiians, be afraid, be very afraid.
Any favorite airlines that you prefer to travel with?
Right now, I've only used Iberia to come from El Salvador to Madrid, Amsterdam.
What was the cheapest flight that you have ever booked?
It was €22 from Krakow, Poland to Rome.
Okay. With Ryanair?
Yeah, with Ryanair.
Yeah, Polish airline.
I didn't know it was Polish actually.
While traveling, you prefer to stay in hostels like the one we're staying at, or hotels? Airbnb maybe?
I think hostels are the best way to travel. First of all, they're much more economical. But second, I think you meet people. If you want to party, they're usually pub crawls, and they have a very good knowledge of what's in cities. So you can ask staff. Staffs are usually friendly. People that are around you are usually friendly. Common areas are full with people that are doing the same thing that you do. And you're probably going to have a great time in hostels. As opposed to hotels that even though the beds are comfortable, you have all this luxury, you miss out a little bit of the experience and it becomes a little more artificial, and of course it's way more expensive.
Definitely, and what's cool is that in our day and age we have more hostels that are becoming more modern. Comfortable beds, and you can also rent private rooms. Weird question, but which country that you have visited had the friendliest people?
I've been in 7 countries and most of the people have been nice to me. I would say, again, people in Krakow have been very friendly. They're even sometimes too friendly. They're asking you to go to have a beer in a strange place. In English, beware of that. That's usually a scam, so don't. When you go to a place like Banja Luka, which is the cheapest place to get a beer here, I found, you'll have a great time there. A lot of people are friendly, open, they're great to travelers. Budapest as well. Budapest, Hungary, people from Hungary are very, very fun too.
Couldn't agree more. You have to be aware of scams. People try to invite you to bars and stuff.
Poland, it's a thing, you'll be approached in the street by a beautiful lady. You want to have a drink with me? Of course, a lot of people is going to say yes, but usually it's an overpriced drink and you might as well just go to a different place. That happens in Holland as well. And Amsterdam is another place where people automatically invite you to a drink. Just be aware
that they changed the name of Holland. It's become the
Netherlands.
now.
It's actually that happened in Macedonia as well. Now it's North Macedonia.
Interesting. Yeah, also what's terrible about what you said about the scams, that sometimes it's okay like to have a drink that's overpriced, but I have heard stories that some people, even not just paid overpriced, they charge them thousands of dollars on their credit cards. So this is something to be aware of, definitely.
Again, the first time I went here in Krakow, I was in a much partier hostel. This is a more relaxed one. I prefer this one now. But there was a party hostel, and I found a friend that he was approached by a guy telling him he worked as a cleaning man in this strip club. He went to the strip club and they say, oh, a dance is gonna be 150 zloty, and he's like, yeah, why not? It's cheap. And when they passed the card, it was 1,500 zloty, which is
300, 400 euros.
It's like 400 euros. So I mean, that's usually how they get you. It's like they distract you. You're not aware of what you're doing because you're very distracted in things. So again, fellow travelers, if you're doing anything, just try and avoid strip clubs altogether. You're not gonna have the best experience in town there. You're not gonna meet great people. The best that the city has to offer are usually not strip clubs, bro. Like really.
Yeah, the best places to go just to go to small bars, places with good music.
Rule of thumb, best advice I can give you in terms of bars is look a place that's really packed with people, because that's usually where locals go, and that's usually very cheap and you're gonna have a great time. I found that in my experience that if it's full of people, it's a good one. Very fancy one with 3 people inside, that's either super expensive or super niche. And you may not, if it's your niche, like for example a whiskey bar that I found in Prague, there was like an only whiskey bar, it was a little expensive, but every now and then having a nice drink, it doesn't kill you. Yeah, usually go to the places where there are like a lot of people, that's usually the fun, the best ones.
2 days ago with a local we went to a very packed bar, place with a lot of people, and totally the drinks were very cheap. I paid almost €1 for a beer. It was really good experience. What is your dream traveling experience?
Dream traveling experience, that's a really hard question to answer. This trip has been the trip of my life. It took me a while to start traveling. I'm on my 30s. This is the time that I could do it. I had the chance to do it. I'm super happy. I could say this is my dream trip, but I'm also missing Asia. And Asia would be the next destination that I would really like to travel like this.
And what's cool nowadays that we have the option to work remotely. Like, I have the option to work and travel at the same time. And you are fortunate, as you told me before, that you can work remotely.
Yeah, luckily, and that's something that even during the pandemic, it was a blessing in disguise because I've been working remotely for years now. Right now I have a very good job, also remote, and that allows me to work in different places in the world. Again, if I had to be my strict hours, I would be working from 6 to 10 p.m. because it's a part-time one, which is very good times. It's not a horrible time to work. But also, right now I've made an agreement with my bosses that I can just finish tasks during the morning, and if there's something urgent coming along, they will call me during the night, and I can just fix any problem that's necessary. But yeah, remote jobs are, I think it's not even the future, it's the present. Ever since the pandemic, they're no longer the future. It's happening now, and it's important to try to gather those skills because it's it's really important to know how to work remotely now.
I couldn't agree more. Many people are interested, in working remotely. I also I work part-time in a remote job. I find it very interesting. Like, how did your parents accept that? For example, my parents told me, if you can work from anywhere, why wouldn't you choose to be around us? Why did you choose to keep on traveling? Did you have the same issues?
Well, not really. The one parent I get the most with is my mother, and she's been a person who's always allowed me and my siblings to be very independent and free people. Yeah, I had zero problems with that. In fact, she would tell me, dude, if you can do this, go, travel as much as you can, work as much as you can. Just keep your job. Just make sure you keep your job. That's pretty much the only thing she was a little scared of. But I told her this is not going to be a problem. I know how this world works. And even if I didn't get this one job that I have that's very stable, I could have another one. And luckily, like I said, I've done this for years. And I think and I hope, and that's for you, brother, I'm looking at you. You're telling me you're coming in January. I hope you do, and I know you have remote jobs, so this is the time to do all this.
Yes. What is something you can't travel without? Something you always take it with you on the road?
I'm very attached to my technology.
Okay.
So my iPad, my computer, and my cell phone, and this watch that. Yeah. Having ADHD, I'm super bad at forgetting. Since these things remind me the other one's missing, it's been a blessing. It really has. I haven't lost. Well, I lost one thing, and I think that thing that I lost is just like a little necklace with a charm of a robot. I really miss it, but yeah, I haven't lost anything significant during this trip, and I'm very proud of myself for that.
I like that. It's very interesting how technology made traveling much easier. Like you can book everything, especially an iPad or a watch, like an Apple Watch or any smartwatch. You can track your health. You can, if you have an iPad, you can book stuff online just last minute. Technology made travelers much easier. I believe for our parents it was much difficult to book flights and to stay in hotels and so on.
Yes, actually that's another thing. If I want to go to a specific place, all I have to do is Google Maps, put the route, and then my watch is going to vibrate and tell me just go to the left. Oh, that's super cool.
I didn't know Apple Watch does that.
Yeah, Apple Watch does that. So that makes traveling a lot easier. Also in communications. My mother lived in Germany for a year. And when she lived there, I remember she told me the only communication with her mother, which was my grandmother, was by letter. And a letter took around 15 days to arrive to El-Salvador.
Okay.
Now, if something happens to me, I just text her. I text my mom, probably will be asleep if it's in the morning, but I can text my family, I can text anybody in the world, and technology has made it a lot better for travelers, I think.
Definitely. So this leads me to the next question. Do you still send postcards from countries you visit, or when was the last time that you sent a postcard?
I've never sent a postcard, and that's actually something that I'm gonna get a lot of crap for. And my mom told me, send postcards.
Okay.
I haven't sent one. Don't tell her.
What is something interesting that you have learned while traveling? What traveling taught you?
A lot of things. First, that the best way to have fun in life is to leave your comfort zone, to stop thinking you know everything. That's another thing. I'm a nerd for books and history, and it's been crazy just to be able to, how different it is to read about something in a book and to actually experience it and being meters away from it, being able to touch it, being able to really grasp it. It's been a very surreal experience to me, and it's completely different. I was so ignorant in so many things, that I wouldn't have asked if I weren't in the cities, if I didn't give me the chance to listen to people more than to talk of what I know.
Very good lesson, very important one. So are you currently reading something? Because a book is a very good traveling companion. Yeah. Taking your book with you on the train, on the bus, on the airplane. Are you reading something interesting now?
Yeah, right now I'm actually reading Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale. And the last book I read, because I just finished it and I started this one, was Children of Doom by Frank Herbert. I really like that saga. So I read it for the third time.
So do you prefer to read many books, to read one book many times?
Depends on the book, and honestly, like there are certain books that I can revisit and really like. The Dune saga is such a good, especially the movie just came out. It makes you want to like revisit it, and it's a very dense and big book. So you know, it's something that if you come back, you're gonna miss some details through your life, so you can come and read again. And you know what to expect on how the people write. So I would say I could revisit books more than read new ones. I get overwhelmed when I read new ones. Things like different types of writing messes up with your mind.
I agree.
So yeah, I do sagas more than I do like, oh, new book.
Okay. I think it's a very wise idea, especially when it comes to self-help books, like books that are related to finance, financial education. Instead of trying to find the best books and try as many, you can find, because all the materials are repeated, so you can find like one or maybe two good books and you can read them a few times. I think successful people have discovered this before.
Yeah, actually the thing is that, like you said, things are very like they give you the same tips in a different voice. So I think the best way that you can learn things would be by finding the voice you like, and a voice that you feel familiar, and you read from that voice. You're probably gonna get a lot more insight to it than trying to get many voices. It's gonna get overwhelming.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I wish I knew this before. I actually discovered this like 1 year or 2 years ago. But yeah, this is a very, very good approach. It's not how many books you read, it's what you read and how do you understand it and how does it relate to you. Very good advice. What is your dream job? Because I think you're satisfied with your job now, but do you have any like a dream job?
Yeah, my dream job would be to be a screenwriter and help directing movies. I love film, and I think that would be my dream job. Like my dream in life is to one day not get the prizes in Cannes. I want to get an Oscar. I want to get an Oscar for best screenplay. I know this is a very long shot in life and probably never gonna happen, but if I can do that, I'll get maybe two. I don't know.
When there's a will, there's a way. If you want something, you can make it happen.
Yeah.
Traveling in a group or traveling solo, and why?
Okay, that's a tricky question too, because most of my travel I've done alone, and I've traveled solo. I've met people during the way, but then we had like a weekend on Budapest with some friends that I met in Romania, and that was really, really fun. Like, traveling in a group it has its advantages, but also it has its disadvantages because you have to move in different rhythms. And traveling is all about rhythm. Another advice I give you, people, don't get desperate when you're tired. It's okay to rest. It's okay to book an extra night in a city. It's okay to miss this one little building that you didn't see in a trip. Sometimes resting goes a long way because you'll have energy for the rest. And if you really, really love it, you can come back. Cities are not going to live anywhere. So you can like not go to this one place or this one landmark that you were trying to visit. Revisit it some other day. Do it on your own rhythm. Don't let people tell you what to do on your trip. Your trip is yours. So my recommendation is travel solo, but if you can do it in a group for a weekend or two, it's not gonna hurt.
Yeah, very good point. So this is leading me to the next, this question is, do you prefer to travel as many places as you can, or do you prefer to get to know one place, like to stay longer in one place?
Well, I've always said that I wanted to meet every single city I could during this trip. But I realized you fall in love with cities. I've been twice to Budapest and I've been twice to Krakow. Krakow is the one that I spend most time in, and I really like the city. Like I know streets. Like for example, I can walk without a map now, and I can guide myself on. Oh, I'm in this street. And I know my best kebab place, and I know the place where I like the burgers. I know where's the good pasta. I know where not to go. I know where the Banja Lukas are, which is the cheap bars. So I've experienced a lot of the city, and I really enjoy that. So I think sometimes like getting to know a city better than traveling to many cities could be very, very worthwhile.
Can you Share with us some tips, maybe a few things about Krakow.
Krakow. Okay, first of all, your best friend Banja Luka. It's 5 zloty beer, which is €1.
It's a bar or an inn?
It's a bar. It's a bar. Banja Luka, it's a bar. There's actually 2 locations. There's a big one and there's a small one. The small one is in this little plaza. The big one is close to the center, the big plaza of the center. You'll always see it full of people because it's cheap. It's really good. Also, Christmas market. The food is delicious there. Try to when it's lunchtime, try to walk a little further from the center, and you'll see all these authentic places. Don't fall in the trap of, oh, this is an authentic, Polish meal, and see this fancy restaurant that's probably going to be a little more expensive and it's not as rich. I think local food is better when done by people, not restaurants. So like pierogi, I've had pierogi in a good restaurant and I've had pierogi on a lower restaurant. The lower restaurant was amazing.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel to get more tips and advices, to watch travel related interviews, voiceover travel videos and travel vlogs to make your next journey a fascinating one.
This was fun, really.
Thanks, man. Bye.